Hi, my name is Terry Lee from Sweet Pea Papers and the Sweet Pea Papers Facebook group. This is video 7 in our Wizard School series. Can't even spit it out this morning. And we left off, we had done page 12 and I finished it off camera, the papering and making the cards. So I wanted to show you where we ended up. Now, this charm is backwards this way, but right side when you open it up, and it's right side from the front of the book. So I have no idea which way to do it, except for this way makes the card right side up. Alright, so we've got this picture which we've already done, and then it opens up here, and I made this card for this tuck. And I used this particular paper because when I cut it down, the frame was good there like that, and then I could use that center image, which I like. I think that's going to be the image on our cover as well. Then we put the tuck on. So this is one of the pictures out of that page that I cut apart. Oops, and stick it up there, and then when you take it out, you've got all this writing space. Plus, you don't have a big card like this one covering up our image, because we used a paper to do that. Then it opens out, and I added a belly band, and I made this sort of like a bookmark. Oops, come on, get in there. Then we added this pocket and the tag and the card. Okay, now I haven't added any other quote-unquote decoration to this. I might come back and put something on this belly band, but the belly band is going to match on the next page. Remember, we're doing the center. Now, it's not going to be a flip up, flip out like on this page, so it's not going to be as matched as the center and the other signature, but we are going to match up the belly bands. They're going to be right next to each other. Okay, so that's that. Oh, we need this still. So now on this page, we're going to put a double flip out. And so, let me get my cream colored paper here. We need the flip out to be the same width as this flip up. So let's, and I've inked the paper ahead of time. I did remember this time. Versus video 6. So let's make it this wide. Now remember, we don't want to do to the edges of the image. We want to do to the edges of the paper. You know, the border. And we do that. Width. You know what we could do? I wasn't going to make it the size of the whole page, but we could, and then I could use, oh, we determined these were narrower. Not that much. You know, instead of going by the size of the other one, let's go by the size of this. So then we can use this and it'll look like it matched. Unless somebody measures it, they won't be able to tell that it's a 1/16 difference. Which one do we want to use? Let's see, this side has books. This side has books. This matches the paper on the other side. This matches the other paper, yeah, that we've used before. So let's use this one. So now we want it to be a little bit bigger all the way around, just like usual. So we're just going to measure it out. Oops. Today's ring is fake diamond. I don't know if you guys have heard me say this before, but I have like 50 different quote-unquote dinner rings. So I like to mix it up. Getting ready to do a couple small Christmas projects. So I will probably wear my red or green or switch up for those. So, oh, and you know what I just did? Did anybody tell me? I didn't leave the 1/2 inch to make it the flap. Okay, so we want it to be this big plus a 1/2 inch on the side. It's going to flip out. I'm flipped out. Alright, so we want it to be this big. Well, it looks like that's about a 1/2 inch, so we could probably just use it. Is that a 1/2 inch? It's a little bit more. Let's cut that 1/8 off. That way it won't be so big. And then I forgot to put the height on there. Well, hi Oz. My dog Oz is in here visiting with us. All I have to say about that is I'm glad to have him in here. He never used to lay in here when I was doing videos, but now he started doing it. Oh, right now he's looking for paper. He was just under my feet. Now he's over under my computer desk. So he's looking for papers. Oz, don't eat paper. He'll take a great big piece of paper and run with it. You know, like a long piece like this, if I've cut one off and it fell on the floor. I'm scoring it a 1/2 inch. Now the flip out is not going to be the same size as this, but I want to use this image sideways as the card. So, gosh, I guess that means it's going to have to be, but it isn't going to be as tall. Get another piece of paper. I don't know why I didn't get 2 out. So, let's make it the width of the paper. I guess I shouldn't have tapped like that. Oz is going to think somebody is knocking on the door. That made me think of that Paul McCartney song. Somebody's knocking on the door. Somebody's ringing the bell. How old does that make me? I'm not telling. You're just going to have to guess. Okay, so we're going to want it to be this width then. That looks bigger than a 1/2 inch. Yeah, it is. And you cut a 1/4 inch off. Oh, I guess if I put the blade back on, that would be helpful. Duh. Yeah, that's better. So let's make this one the same width. It's going to mess up the image we wanted to use on the front. No, it won't. I'll live. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure. I am starving. I was going to eat before I started this video, but then I didn't. And now my stomach is growling. I forgot to do our timer. I don't have page 14 written out yet. So after we get this done, or at least built, we'll do a couple of the papers And then I will finish the paper off camera, or the page off camera. You don't need to see me paper everything. Then, what was I going to say? Oh, then I'll come back and we'll do the rest of what we need to do. Then we'll see how much time we have. Now we're going to put this one on the opposite way. You know, I really didn't want it to be the same height. I want this one to be this. I want this one to be big enough to do this card, which it would. And we only have to go by the height. So we could do this. So I don't want to have to paper all that. I'm getting lazy. No, I'm not getting lazy. It's a lot. Okay, so we're going to put this aside again. We're going to miter the corners. Is this going to be wider? Mm-hmm. Because this is wider and I made it that wide. I don't know what I'm thinking this morning. I think I'm thinking that I'm hungry. That's what I think I'm thinking. Can't have it wider than the page. We're going to have another card with a charm. That's why I'm trying to work around this. What that means, we could measure this. Looks like I can take another 1/8 off. I don't want it to be too bulky. In fact, that's about right. Close enough. Okay, now we're going to ink it. Oh, this media grip from Tim Holtz is great. I love it. It comes in a sheet, and then you cut it the size you need. It comes in an 8.5 by 11. If you go to, oh, what is the name of that website? Stamps, etc. Stamp, not Stampin' Up, but Stamp. If I can think of it, I will post the link. You can get 3 pieces for $30, and that'll save you, I think, a couple bucks a piece, each piece. You know, I almost did this again. For some reason, we needed to ink this back farther than normal. So the one under the flap is going to be our long image that matches the other side, that's perfectly fine with me. Now I have a gnat. What is going up? What is going up? What is going on? What is going under? I told you, I'm goofy this morning. Okay, I'm goofy every morning, but I'm actually letting the goofiness out in the video. I'm letting the goofiness out. I'm doing this as fast as I can. I apologize that I have to do it on camera, but we can't do it until we cut it. And I always do just a little bit of this, just in case it shows. It may be annoying when I get to the corners and it makes that popping noise, but I'll tell you a secret. It's like one of my favorite noises. I do not know why, and I know it's probably odd, but I am probably odd. So now I'm goofy and I'm odd. I think I should be in a wizard video or movie or video. Anybody making a wizard video and you need a wizard, just let me know. Apparently I'm your girl. Alright, so we're going to put this one on this way. And why is it too tall? This is disappointing. I don't know how I did that. Who knows? Okay, so we're going to put this on this way. Doesn't really matter what side we glue it on. We'll just fold it the opposite way, but I like to kind of get the crease going the right way ahead of time. Okay. It is just a smidge short, but that's alright. I'm just going to make it even from the top and the bottom. Let's double check, make sure we don't have glue oozing out. Let's double check, make sure it folds. So I've got it in a little bit too far. Forgot what I was looking for. My hand just kind of wandered around up there. Okay. Still think that should lay flatter. Could have inked this all the way up, actually. I don't know why I didn't. We're going to add this one on this way. And not in the center. Closer to the bottom. Let's see. How far down is our charm? Let's turn it upside down. We want our charm to be in the center of our piece. Looks about right, close enough. Government work, like my mom used to say. Let's not make the same mistake twice. Oh, for goodness sake. Where's that second air bubble? There it is. You wait for that air bubble to come out so you know all the glue is out of the tip. Otherwise, you're going to squeeze it all day and nothing's going to come out. Alright, so we wanted it about here. Let's see. That's why we're going to be using magnets, which is the next step. We're going to be using 2 sets of magnets. One to hold this shut, one to hold this down. We're going to put this magnet here. And we're going to take a magnet and put it here. Look, it holds right through my finger. Amazing. Well, of course that was going to happen. And you always want to make sure your magnets don't interfere with each other as far as repelling each other or sticking together where you don't want them to stick together. You don't want them to be attracted either. You don't want them to be attractive. This is the very back of the page. A little bit big of a piece of tape. Okay, so that's going to hold that down. So now we want to open this, and we're going to glue this on here. Oh, that's where I made the mistake. I didn't trim that down. I forgot to cut it for the height. Huh. See if we can get most of that bottle in there. I was just going by the piece of paper. Wow. I'm just crash banging around, aren't I? I'm going to paper the rest of it off camera. Well, you don't have to watch me just cut paper and ink, cut paper and ink. I'm going to be using the paper pages as in these two, oops, that's a card. These are the flat papers, and so I will be cutting them, but that way we've got the empty space up here. We can put a tuck on the one, and then on the other one we'll have enough room to make our horizontal belly band, and then where we will put our vertical belly band here, and then we'll decide the rest of what we want to do on the other pages that are left. Okay. So that way you know ahead of time what my thinking is, what we're going to do. Just like we did on the flip up, flip out on the page next to it. I decided to not do the exact same thing on both pages, even though that would have been an easy way to get a charm on both. Wanted them to be similar but not the same in this signature. Oh, speaking of signatures, I am going to have plenty of papers to do a third signature. If I do one and there's no videos after video, say 10, then you'll know I did them all off camera and you'll see them in the flip through. I won't do anything super duper, special. If I do, then I will make a video for it, because I publish these, or I record these way ahead of time. People ask me questions about the videos sometimes, and I'm like, I don't remember. You have to think, you realize that I filmed these a couple of months ahead of time. All right, so that's papered. Now we have to paper this, and this, and this. Okay? And then if you want to put the belly band, the matching belly band on, not belly band, tuck. Don't glue the top and the bottom. We want to put a big card in there. Then you can measure the size of the one from page 12 so that they're the same size. So you can do that too if you want. Then you'll be ready to go. We'll be ready to go for the flaps and the pocket and such. Okay, I'm going to put you on hold. I'm going to go get something to eat, and then I'm going to come back and finish papering these, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I almost got carried away and did the whole thing. So I made the pocket out of this instead of the card. I was able to get it to fit. Then I covered this. If you look at this one, there's the belly band and the picture, and then the page that the pocket is on is the same paper. Get out of there. So the pocket and the paper are the same. You just happen to see this one on the front. So we're going to go ahead and finish this up real quick, and then we'll have pages 12 and 13, and it will be our center. So what we need to do is we need to put the, let's do this first. We need to put the belly band back here, and this is just a scrap that happened to look cool to me, so I just cut it down. And this will give it the same features, except for the other one, the belly band is vertical. Took me a little while to find one with a colored picture, so I guess we are getting low with those. There we go. Well, that's not right. Okay, and then we'll put a thin little bookmark or something in there. Then we also need to put our tuck up here. Now I cut it out, and the way I did that was I got this one out. I opened it up and I measured how big the square or the rectangle was that we had used, and cut out another piece the same, and then cut it in half like we did there. So that gave me this that's the exact same size. So all we have to do is glue that in because I've inked it. So we're going to glue the two straight sides. Well, they're all straight, but you know what I mean, the 90-degree angle side. Then we'll put it in like this. And I picked this paper with the castle because I wanted to use it somewhere. And somehow it tied in with the other one, but I don't remember how. So I've got a paper set aside for the card that goes in here. Is going to be this big one. And then the one for the skinny here I didn't do, and you know, I haven't picked the paper yet. And then the same with this one, so I'll just do those off camera as well. So now I found this, and I really want to, let's see, how do I want it to come out of the pocket? I want it to come out this way. So we want to save this. Is that wider than our pocket? It is. Well, such is life. Let's get the width and get it to slide in there first. And then we did the charm with the big bite in the video before this on page 12. So here's my tab. It's the last one I have with that sparkly on it. I'm going to have to spray another cream colored paper. And then just a smidge more. And then I'll use my last, or my next to last key charm, and I'll put that on there with the bulb pen. I take that back. I actually have three, so that will leave me two. It's two. We've almost cut that whole book off, so that's good. Looks better that way. I want it this long. So it isn't that big of a card, but it is empty here so that we can put the tab on with no problem. Cut that last little bit of that book off and then make it slide in and out easier. So I like this because it says Magical Powers, and then this says Magic Potion. Okay. Still take a smidge off the top, not very much. And then it should be fine. I'm going to stick it back in that pocket. We'll lose it in there. I just took a 1/16 off. And then I'll glue that on and do the hole. And I will make the cards. The other one I didn't make the card. Yes, I did for the tuck, and I made this one. I made this one too. Okay. I almost wish I had made the flip close that way. Huh. Will it do that? It will. Then this won't stay shut because this magnet is attaching to this one that's supposed to go to this magnet over here. So if I had thought about it, I would have done it the other way. So right now it flips out like this. Flips out like this. And then it also flips out like this. And like that. Okay? Okay, so I'll finish up those little parts on this page. And then when we come back, we will do page 14. And I'll be back in just a second with that. Okay, so I finished off 13. Yeah, on this one. And I added the cards in here. And the card for the tuck. Whoops. And the belly band and the bookmark for this side. Okay? I realized, I know I had said I wished I had put it under, but then I wouldn't have been able to do the charm. Okay, so now we're on 14, and we should be able to get this one done fairly quickly. It's going to be easy but fun. We're going to make a 5-pocket envelope. So we're going to start out with one of the invitation envelopes and our paper. Okay, and we're going to fit it on here above this image, and then we're going to cut it off even with the paper. That's why I didn't ink it. So we're going to cut it off even. I mean, you know, that's why I didn't ink this end. I thought this would be kind of fun. You guys know me, I like making lots of pockets. We had to have a pocket page. That wasn't a stacked pocket or a stuffed pocket. And we're only going to be using the front of the envelope, so you don't have to ink the back. Oh, I sealed it. And that's going to give us a pocket on the side. Okay. So now what we have is pretty much a square. So we're going to glue it on the side of the paper, but we're going to glue it on as a double pocket. So a pocket on the top and a pocket on the bottom. So what we're going to do is we're going to put our glue on, and we're going to put the glue here and here and across the center, and then glue the envelope down. Okay? So we're going to do our glue up and down. Can't get the glue to come out. I'm going to do up and down, and then across the center. Okay, and it doesn't matter which way. Oh, it does. Make sure you put your pocket on this side. Duh. Put it down far enough that you're not covering the image. I mean, high enough that you're not covering the image, but far enough down so that you are able to use this as a pocket. This is a little bit big of an envelope to do this. Usually I do this with a check envelope, but I don't have any cream colored check envelopes. This is the closest I could get. So we're going to use this. It's a little bit of an optical illusion because this kind of goes in and out like it's torn. So go by this edge along here to make sure that you've got it on straight. Okay, so now we have a pocket in the top and a tuck in the bottom and a pocket on the side. So that's 3 pockets. Okay, now we're going to put what looks like a belly band across the center, but we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to glue it at the top and the bottom and then down the middle. Okay? Oops, no we're not. We're going to paper this first. Duh. I don't know what I was thinking. Just gonna put the thing right on the envelope. And then we'll be done with the page. And yet we'll have a 5-pocket envelope. And I just made that mark. Oh, there it is. I know I marked the height. There it is. I'm going to ink that and glue it on. Then, just like the other pages, we're going to put a card in here with a tab and another charm. Yay! 3 charms in this signature, 2 in the other. Now we won't worry about putting any more, cards that have tabs and stick out. We may have a card with a tab. We only have 2 pages left. And I already know what we're going to put on the back page. It's going to be in a book. We're just going to have the 2 signatures. So we only really have to do 1 more page in my brain. Whoops, I almost did it, didn't I? Okay, so we want to glue, this paper down. We just want to glue it down. Now the glue's coming out. For those of you who haven't watched me before, I just glue around the edges of my paper. Actually, I think I decided this one had the bigger jugs up, right side up, so I wanted to put the paper that way. Because it is just a piece of paper. It's not like it's something that's going to hold something or build something or whatever. I've yet to have a piece of paper come unglued just from doing the edges. If you're used to doing the whole thing, then just go ahead and do it the way you're used to. Just because I do it different doesn't mean you have to. Okay, so I want this to be wide enough that we can glue it down the center. But I still want to see the paper. I decided to do it in the blue because of the color scheme of this paper. And I just didn't want to make another clashing brown paper. And make a cool and soothing gray and brown, gray and brown. Okay, so let's make it about this wide because we're just going to make tucks. Geez, we better make it a little bit wider. They're not going to be full-fledged pockets, but we're going to call them pockets so we can say we have a 5-pocket envelope. My project, I can call it anything I want. Did I measure the height? No. I was just thinking earlier today how spoiled I am by having this wire and this paper trimmer. If anything ever happens to it, Fiskars has a lifetime warranty and they would replace it. They've already replaced another paper trimmer that I had. I had a rotary cutter and it had the solid, big solid gray platform, and I loved it. But the it was 20 years old or more, probably more. And finally the groove where the rotary blade went, you know, I had only changed the blade once on it in that long. It was crazy. And I'm not saying that's normal. I think it was magic. I do. I think it was magic. Someone came along and did a little something. Anyway, they replaced it, but they still make it. They still make the exact one that I needed to replace it, but they didn't have it in stock. And in order to get it replaced, I needed to pick out something that was in stock, top, bottom, and center. So I had to pick out something else, and I ended up getting a $130 paper trimmer, one of those bigger ones that folds in half with the rotary blade. It's amazing. I just don't have room for it. I'm going to put this on here. Shoot. I don't want to smush it around too much. It's not in the center. Well, you've smushed it around now. Okay. So now we're going to put ephemera here and here. We're going to put cards here. In fact, this one would fit here and here. And then we're going to make a card with a tab and a charm here. Okay? So I'll do that off camera. You see me make cards. You don't need me to, you know, and you've already cut and inked your ephemera. So you can put it in there. I'm pretty sure I'm going to use some more of those little picture frames. Some more of these. Oh, I wanted to use those. See if I can think of something to do on the last page. That isn't the last page. The next to last page. That that will use them. I'll have to use the old bean to start thinking hard. So that's it for this video, and I will see you in the next video, and that will be just a second for you and a day for me. Okay, bye-bye.